Welcome to Behind the Music of Frozen 2. My name is Jeremy Parsons. I'm the host of People Now on People TV and People.com. It's so good to see you. I've been talking with our guests backstage. They're very excited to come out. Go ahead and give a big hand for Kristen Anderson Lopez and Bobby Lopez.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, hello. All right.
This is so cool, by the way.
This is really cool. There really seems to be a sense of love and appreciation for this project, for this franchise. Did you get that feeling as you're interacting with the other major players on this movie that people are really pumped about it?
Yeah. I mean, we've all been through this crazy experience together. 6 years ago, we say this all the time. With Frozen 1, all we wanted was to just not have our career end. Because these things are very, very hard to write. And they're very complicated. And screening after screening, we would write these songs, but things just were wonky and not coming together. And we kept having this mantra of, trust the process, trust our collaborators.
You've also talked about how your two little girls, for the first one, some of the sibling rivalry and relationship and the way it all played out kind of inspired some of the themes and of the music. For this one, for Frozen 2, what was the inspiration or the real point of connection for inspiration as you started pinning the words and the music?
Well, it all starts with the story because we're really we're talking to Chris and Jen every day, and they pitched us this idea. It was sort of the gem of an idea, and it was all about change, about these characters going through basically life changes and going from realizing that where they were wasn't where they needed to be, and that when we heard that, the journey that they would have to take to get where they needed to be, we realized there's a lot of music in this movie.
There was a phrase that we were really inspired by, which was, there are the two most meaningful days of your life is the day you were born and the day you realize why. And for one of our characters, I don't think Elsa had figured that out yet. Why do I have these powers? What are they meant for? And that led to a lot of questions, and especially for Jen and Chris. And then they kind of pulled us in and said, guys, I think we have Frozen 2. What do you think? And then we worked and talked for years and did research trips up to the top of the world up there, to Iceland and Norway and Denmark and Finland. And Jen and Chris came back with this amazing playground for us to play in that really had emotional peaks that we could write songs for.
Well, it's unbelievable the talent that the two of you represent. Grammys, Oscars, first ever double EGOT winner ever. Big round of applause for that. It's kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. But so look, the talent's there, and so obviously you guys you know how to get inspiration, you know how to write music. You were telling me backstage that as part of this process, you'll kind of get some storyboards or things or some inspirational artwork from the filmmakers to kind of guide you and prod you along in terms of where these songs need to go. Talk to me some and talk to the rest of us about how that works out. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, it's sometimes we get these beautiful paintings because they paint paintings of sort of what the movie might look like, just for inspiration. We saw paintings that looked a lot like this.
Not unlike what is behind us, yes.
I mean,
the fall forest.
The leaves didn't move in the paintings, but it was basically like this. And sometimes they would even have photos from research trip or research they had done online, and just stuff to get us juiced for the situations we were writing about. And it's amazing how a picture can inspire a melody. It can just give you a feeling. It can get you closer. Anything that can get you closer to where you need to get is what you need. And there's also tons of talking about character. Well, sometimes when we write a song, there are script pages, and sometimes there aren't yet. Sometimes there's a little bit of drawings, and sometimes there aren't. And then sometimes we turn in a song that's only half done because we don't know where to take it next, and the storyboard artists and the directors give us some more ideas with images, and we take those images and finish the song with them.
It's the coolest job ever. And we're so grateful because I mean, there is the fun of just writing with your best friend up in a studio in Brooklyn, but then you send it to the greatest artists and storytellers in the world, who then like shoot you back with like, all right, I'll see your song and I'll raise you this hilarious image that is then going to take you to the second verse of your comedy song.
Yeah, you told me at the premiere that you always hear Idina Menzel in your head. It's just a thing now. You can hear the voice. So obviously there's the artwork, but knowing her voice so intimately, and in terms of her voice as an artist as well, and the literal singing voice as well, it's locked in. But how much does that sort of inform the process?
Oh, all of it. I mean, today I'm going to sing a little bit. I feel that about all of the actors, really. I know Kristen Bell's voice really well, too. She's got this, like, clear as a bell, ironically, soprano that you can just take anywhere. Jonathan Groff's voice we know really well. We didn't write for him. Yeah. The first time around, and that was because Kristoff couldn't sing until he was in love. By the time he was in love, he was racing somebody down a mountain. So,
but Josh Gad's voice, you know really well too. You were talking to him
I've been
about
working with Josh for like 12 years now.
All right, let's talk about the first song. All is Found. It's sort of the mother's lullaby.
this is the very first song we wrote for the movie, and I think of it as like a roadmap for the movie. When you go back, and hopefully you'll see it again after you've seen it, and you'll be like, oh, that's full of clues, which was intentional because Idina, as mothers, we sing these songs at bedtime, and you hope that these messages of love and care kind of go into, and they'll remember, your own children will sing these lullabies when they grow up. And it's Idina's way of sort of leaving a secret message for her two girls through this song.
In Frozen 2 is a lot of things. It's also a mystery. And Idina is the mysterious character that has a secret that we didn't find out in the first movie. And so she is trying to leave breadcrumbs through the lyrics of this lullaby.
Do you want us to sing it now?
Yes, I do. Let's give it up for them as they sing a little piece.
We can sing the whole one of this. We can't sing the whole one of some of the others, but... Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a river full of memory. Sleep, my darling, safe and sound, for in this river all is found. In her waters deep and true lie the answers and a path for you. Dive down deep into her sound, but not too far or you'll be drowned. Yes, she will sing to those who hear, and in her song all magic flows. But can you brave what you most fear? Can you face what the river knows? Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a mother full of memory. Come, my darling, homeward bound. When all is lost, then all is found.
Thank you. So great.
That's beautifully sung by Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
She has mist in her voice, and she starts the movie with mist.
Yeah, talk about Evan Rachel Wood's character a bit and how whatever you're allowed to say about how she plays in here.
Oh man, casting that role, we had to find someone who would sound a little like Elsa and a little like Anna, but didn't sound like one of them, like their generation. Evan has this huskiness to her voice, and she's a phenomenal actress. She sounds like their mother. It just feels like the DNA's in there.
But she's full of mystery. And Evan also, her voice is just full of mystery.
Yeah.
And she says, I got to do a junket with her, and she says that the only thing better than being a Disney princess is being a Disney mom.
It works out. All right, so the next song, Into the Unknown. This is a big one. I've been singing this since I saw the movie. I can already tell my girls this is gonna be on repeat on our long road trips, and I can't wait. Kind of a catalyst for Elsa, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there's this voice that's been calling her, and it's actually using an old ancient shepherdess technique called kuning, spelled Kulning.
It's a Scandinavian thing.
And it's sort of a and that is how they used to call their cattle home. Like each cattle has its own sound, and that shepherdesses would call, and only their cattle would come.
Wait, so how did you discover this?
Through our research all around Norwegian, like ancient Norwegian tradition. And it's in the movie, it's in the first movie. We used it in like when Elsa was really upset and she's freezing the river when she's running away. And you hear this like, this kind of thing. It's really hard to do. It's better if you're Norwegian and you do it.
Familiarity helps, yeah.
But anyway, this voice has been calling her, and Elsa is resistant. She's so grateful to be queen. She's so happy to be here. That was really important. And Jenifer Lee and Chris Buck really put a lot of work into making sure we knew Elsa was happy where she was. But this voice is calling.
And it sounds like this.
Bobby's gonna play that voice 2 octaves lower.
Yeah, I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna try.
And she's trying to resist it. But it's 3 a.m. as she wakes up. I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me, who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. We're gonna stop there because it gets even bigger.
Incredible. Really incredible.
Thank you.
And you guys can probably tell just by hearing that when that is done, the full orchestration and everything in the movie, that was one of those moments as I watched where I got chills. Maybe I welled up a little bit. Was there a moment for you with that song where the chills hit and you're like, we got it?
You know, I think it was watching the orchestra record it.
That's what I was going to say.
There's so many moments, like Idina gets it, you know, gets the hairs standing on the back of your neck, but the best days of our lives, you know, are like the days our children are born and the days...
Our wedding,
our honeymoon. There's a lot of good days in our life, but the days we record the orchestra, it's just like a treat for 2 New Yorkers who grew up doing musical theater. Like, there are 90 to 100 of the greatest musicians in the world all there to do your stuff, and it sounds amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Our
That was
orchestrator,
magical.
Dave Metzger, just killed this one. It's like the strings are the drums, basically. The strings are doing the rhythm.
This song is an epic moment in the movie, Lost in the Woods, where it sort of goes into this, I think we can just go ahead and say that it's kind of like this like very like rock ballad vibe, and it's all in, really fun.
Yeah, there's a specific decade it evokes.
Yeah.
You guys will feel that when you feel the music. And I'm going to just play the air guitar and the backup singer.
Oh, and you should know, so he's just proposed to Anna, and she wasn't even there. He proposed to someone else by mistake. And he's left alone with Sven in the woods, and he's just feeling totally bereft. And Sven encourages him to express his feelings, which he does.
All right, here we go. Lost in the Woods.
Again you're gone, off on a different path than mine. I'm left behind, wondering if I should follow. You had to go, and of course it's always fine. I probably could catch up with you tomorrow. But is this what it feels like to be growing apart? When did I become the one who's always chasing your heart? Now I turn around and find I am lost in the woods. North is south, right is left when you're gone. I'm the one who sees you home, but now I'm lost in the woods, and I don't know what path you are on. I'm lost in the woods.
It's the 80s, by the way.
Up till now, the next step was a question of how. I never thought it was a question of whether. Where am I if we're not together forever? Now I know you're my true north, 'cause I am lost in the woods. Up is down, day is night when you're not there. Oh, you're my only landmark, so I'm lost in the woods, wondering if you still care. But I'll wait for a sign. I'm your path, 'cause you are mine. Until then, I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods.
I'll leave you guys to guess who the backup singers are.
We were talking a little bit before, and Jonathan Groff even mentioned how excited he was to get a showcase like this, because he didn't really hear him singing in the first movie, but he was pumped.
Oh, he was so great. And
Who knew
and
he could sing? I mean,
apparently this Jonathan Groff kid is very talented. Who knew?
Yeah. Do you remember when were you around when he first sort of saw the full thing and really got the song the first time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, we were there. We got to spend a whole day in the recording studio. The sweetest story about Jonathan is that we sent it to him as soon as we had it mixed, and he was with his mom in the car. He FaceTimed us, and he was like, I pulled over because we were listening to the car, and he was sobbing, and he was like, I'm sobbing, and my mom's sobbing, and this is so fantastic. Thank you for writing me a Disney song. It was so nice.
That's incredible, and yeah, he really nails it. All right, so final one is called Show Yourself, full of spoilers.
Right.
So what are you gonna say?
So all I'm going to say is that there's an arrival. It's an arrival song, and I'm gonna have to stop. But I wanted to share this music with you guys.
Yeah, she gets to the place where she really belongs, and now she's wondering who this voice is. We still don't know who it is, and she's hoping to see who that person is.
Okay, here you go. Show yourself.
This one needs water. I like to stand when I have to be Idina. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I am home. I have always been a fortress, cold secrets deep inside. You have secrets too, but you don't have to hide. Show yourself, I'm dying to meet you. Show yourself, it's your turn. Are you the one I've been looking for all of my life? Show yourself, I'm ready to learn. I've never felt so certain. All my life I've been torn. Am I here for a reason? Could it be the reason I was born? I have always been so different. Normal rules did not apply. Is this the day? Are you the way? I finally find out why. Show yourself, I'm no longer trembling. Here I am, I have come so far. Are you the one I've been looking for all of my life? Oh, show yourself, let me see who you are. And that's where we have to live.
A couple more questions before we wrap up. How much of a relief is it that these songs that you've been working on now, for how long? I mean,
I think we started writing the first one 3 years ago.
Yeah, about 3 years.
3 years ago.
That's got to feel like the ultimate satisfaction in some ways.
I mean, it's scary, and it's a good time to just feel huge gratitude for Walt Disney Animation and what they do, because we write these songs, we talk about story, we have these incredible collaborators, Jenifer Lee and Chris Buck, who came up with this story that's very complicated and has so many layers. We write these songs in Brooklyn. We send them to Burbank. We have a little bit of back and forth with the directors after that, but it's really the animators who breathe life into these stories, and how right now is a moment of just being like, how cool is it? Look at what they did. Look at what they did.
And what a cool thing for the two of you to be able to have this platform and have so much impact on culture, especially in the culture of children. I mean, I'm a father, your parents. What do you hope people walk out of that theater with, especially the kids?
Well, I think the most meaningful thing was a conversation I had with my 14-year-old, who was actually in the first movie. She played young Anna. She sang, "Do you want to build a snowman?" She's the, "Do you want to build a snowman?" But she's 14 now, and she's on her own path. And she said the interplay between Into the Unknown and Show Yourself makes her weep every time she's seen it, because it really is about, and now I'm gonna cry talking about it actually, because it's really about like saying, step into the world. I can't be there for you, but take that step, figure out who you are and where you belong. And I think Show Yourself really is meaningful to her as she starts to take that.
Or stay with us forever.
Or stay with us forever.
Bobby, how about for you? Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, man. the thing that I love about it is that I was so worried about the whole musical sequel thing. I always thought sequels are so often not as good as the original. And my prayer was, I hope this is the Empire Strikes Back of Frozen, because I love that movie so much. And I think it is the Empire. I think it's kind of like Empire and Jedi rolled into one.
Well, guys, let's give a big hand for the Empire Strikes Back of Frozen. Frozen 2, Kristen Anderson Lopez and Bobby Lopez. Thank you both. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.